Hello there. Today I'm delighted to be trying a wine from one of my favourite California wineries, Ridge. And this is the Ridge Three Valleys 2021. Now, Ridge over the years have made their name making single vineyard wines, things like Lytton Springs, Geyserville, not necessarily single varietal, but I mean obviously Monte Bello, their predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon, has been their flagship wine for many years. Now, Three Valleys is actually, they describe it as a winemaker's wine. It's a blend of a number of vineyards. I believe 10 were used in 2021. And the suggestion is the Three Valleys are all in Sonoma, although there's something in the detail that suggests that some of the wine, lots of wine, may have been fermented at their Monte Bello winery as well as the Lytton Springs estate. The first vintage of Three Valleys was made in 2001, and the idea is to make a fruit-forward wine that will age for 4 or 5 years, and they're using very much the same philosophy as applies to any of their other wines, except it's not a single vineyard wine. So the fruit is hand-picked, it's destemmed, it's gently crushed, it ferments using natural yeasts, it undergoes malolactic conversion using natural bacteria, and it's aged in air-dried American oak, so the more flavourful American white oak, but made, coopered in the way that you would do for French oak, and so much more restrained in its style. The wine here in particular is a blend of 65% Zinfandel with 26% Petite Sirah, 5% of Syrah and 4% of Alicante Bouchet. So really quite a typical field blend sort of style of wine. That's not unlike the varietal blend you'll see in the Lytton Springs estate wine. After quite a gentle fermentation where the wines aren't, they try to avoid pumping the wines to prevent agitation, to prevent heavy extraction. The wine is aged for 12 months in these American oak barrels. Of these, only about 10% is new. The next 40% comprises 4 to 5 year old oak, and the balance, the remaining 50%, is more than 5 years old. So predominantly this ages in old oak. There's not a lot of new oak influence going in there to smother the fruit. 2021 was a concentrated, warm vintage. It's quite a small vintage of intensely flavoured fruit due to relatively low rainfall. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? There's quite a nice depth of colour, but it's not quite opaque. It's a sort of a medium red purple. As I swirl it, the wine clings to the glass quite readily. Its alcohol's given us 14.1% on the label. So let's see what we make of the aromas, shall we? Those are hedonistic, lifted, dark cherry and red cherry. There are perhaps notes of mulberry, maybe notes of sort of rich, juicy boysenberry. And over the top of that, there's a layer of a hint of cedary oak and a little bit of vanilla. There's some quite exotic spice on the aromas there. There's a nice intensity. It's a very opulent wine. It's that sort of juicy fruit and exotic spices. So let's have a taste. Gosh, on the palate, that's got a bursting dark red fruit. It's wonderfully juicy. There's an overlaying peppery spice, and then that becomes more vanilla and a little bit more cedar. There's plenty going on there. The richness of the fruit, there's a soft structure. Yeah, there is a little bit of grip from the tannins that are very fine, giving a sort of a slight peppery note at the end there. But generally they're quite supple, they're rich, they're rounded. The alcohol actually seems quite well in balance, but then it's there with the warm, ripe fruit. The acidity seems to be giving a juiciness to the and a freshness to that sort of red fruit side of things. So yes, juicy red, juicy dark red cherry, juicy mulberry notes there, and that fruit style is lasting really well. Now this, I guess, is the entry-level wine for a really good winery. And the class of the winemaking is really just showing through here in terms of the wine's intensity, its complexity, the harmony between the elements. The oak is sitting in there beautifully integrated and adding a lovely, spicy, exotic character to the finish. The alcohol is warm but balanced. This is a wine that, yes, I mean, they suggest should be quite capable of aging for 5 years. I suspect probably slightly longer than that, but I would be hard pushed to keep it in my cellar for that long because it's attractive, it's open and it's appealing now. It's going to give some very enjoyable drinking. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this interesting. Do please sign up and follow us on YouTube. Do like and share the video with your friends if you've enjoyed it. Do leave your comments. We'd love to hear what you think about this wine, other wines from this producer, or about the videos that we're making. But most importantly, I do hope you'll be able to find the time to join us for another video tasting very soon. Bye for now.